What is good, everybody? Merkle Moman on the scene. Welcome back to the Half Size Up podcast. We are now at episode 13. As you know, we are a weekly podcast for sneaker news, UK releases, global sneaker trends, and all things in between. Today's podcast is brought to you in conjunction with the Pink Miracle Shoe Cleaner, the original shoe cleaner since 1985. With me each and every week, I have my co-host Ash Bash.
What's good, people?
And Dean Still.
What's going on?
And this week, again, feels like the calm before the storm as we approach a full week of heat drops this week. Well, we basically know that the Travis Scott 6 is going to be released this week. The Amar Manier, Jordan 3. So
Madness.
It's going to be a mad one. Yeah. Over the past couple of weeks, we have seen drops in the Air Jordan 4 University Blue, the Aleli May Air Jordan 1 Zooms, the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 in the bright blue colorway, aka the Iron Bruise, and a very floral Nike SB Dunk High Pro Hawaii that a certain someone in here took a W on. All in all, a somewhat very successful week for the HSU team. But for now, let's get stuck into our first segment, lads, which we like to call Favorite Shoe You Wore This Week. In this segment, we talk about our most favorite shoe that we've worn this week. And today we've got Dean to get the ball rolling. So, Dean, what was yours, man?
This week I only wore them for a short period, but I wore the cool grey 4s just for a little bit. I haven't worn them as much as I should have, to be honest with you. I don't know why. There's no good reason, but yeah, got them on for a little bit. Yeah, I need to definitely get some miles on those because I think I've only worn them twice since they released, and it was a little while ago now. So
It happens, man.
yeah,
Sometimes you cop something, next thing you know, it's been a year, and you're like, shit.
yeah,
That was last year I picked that up.
That's the problem. That's why I've been trying to sell pairs, but even still, I've got so many. Like I was counting them all up, and I thought I had way less than I do.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. Ash, what did you wear this past couple of days?
Yeah, for me, probably the best one or my favorite was the New Balance 992 Greys. And what's funny is, as you know, I've bought like shitloads of these pairs, but I've not actually worn any of them out yet because there's been nowhere to go or whatever. So obviously I bought my first pair, which was this pair. I tried them on in my house and I was like, yeah, these fit me fine. And then when I went to wear them, I think it was like on Wednesday or whatever, I was thinking to myself, imagine if these don't fit me and I've bought like shitloads of pairs and I've like gambled all of this, like thinking that's my size. So I was like proper nervous, but I was wearing it for like 3 hours or so and the comfort was like lovely. So all good on that front, half size down, people.
Very fire shoe, man. Very fire. For me, lads, this week, I had to go into the city, into Central this week. I actually had to go into the office for the first time in ages, really. And I actually went into the office 3 times this week. So yeah, that was mad. But one of the days I did wear the Air Jordan 7 Raptors. I think it was, what is it, 2012? I'm going to say 2012, maybe even 2013. Can't even remember what year it is. But yeah, wanted to get them back out into the rotation. Haven't worn them in years. They were actually like crusty as. I really had to clean them up, and I actually used the Pink Miracle shoe cleaner to get them back up to.
Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, just wanted to get some, I don't know, some old school feel back into my feet. Got so many sneakers that I actually need to wear. But I just always, the ones that are the oldest that I probably show the most love to. And I really should start like undsing quite a few as well. But since the weather's getting a bit better now, I think, gonna have to start getting these pairs undsed, especially because the sun's coming out. We've got the bank holiday weekend coming up as well. So yeah, so I'm thinking about a few pairs that I'm gonna unds
When's the bank holiday weekend?
this weekend, man.
What?
We got 3 days off. Like
When's that?
Monday the 3rd is bank holiday.
Oh, all right.
Yes. So we basically
I never know when the bank holidays are. So they don't normally mean anything to me at work.
Poor Ash.
No, but do you know what though? Funny enough, I asked my manager because we got to do something on Tuesday, and I said to him, "Mark, can I have Tuesday off?" And then today's like, you're on annual leave next week. I'm like, I didn't know that. I got 2 weeks off, but I didn't even know. But yeah, happy for me.
Wow.
You're gonna take the full 2 weeks off.
We have to. It's how my work works. We don't have a choice. They give it to you.
Okay. You better get some dubs, man.
I know,
Take some snaps.
definitely.
Cool. All dope pairs, boys. Got to unds a couple as well, man. Moving on, lads. We have Sneaker News of the Week. This is the part of the podcast where we discuss the biggest news within the sneaker world. And this week, it's with regards to the end of the Nike Cross Kobe line, which for all basketball fans, including ourselves, are kind of sad to see because it's the end of an era, right? If you haven't heard, if you've been living under a rock for the past week, and basically it's the end of the line for the KB range. There were rumors of Kobe wanting to leave Nike to start his own brand separate from Nike, but perhaps wanting to wait until the end of his agreement. And due to his late passing, it was debated whether or not he was going to leave. However, in recent times, it seems that it was the final straw when the Kobe 6 Grinches sold out and KB fans were annoyed that they couldn't secure their pairs. Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's wife, promised fans that she would see to it that all Kobe fans would get a pair, and she was taking it directly to Nike to have the issue resolved. Again, after having long discussions with Nike, it seems as though Nike would not want to meet her demands and have now decided to part ways with the Kobe Bryant range altogether. She did envisage a lifelong contract with Nike, but after not being able to come to an agreement, we guess they had to part ways. In her final statement posted on social media, she did state, "We will always do everything we can to honor Kobe and Gigi's legacies." So, boys, what are we thinking? Is this a savage move by Nike? Were Vanessa's demands too much for Nike? What are your thoughts? Dean, let's go to you first, man.
Yeah, so without knowing like the finer details of what's happened between Vanessa Bryant, well, the Kobe's, you know, estate essentially, and Nike. I don't think Vanessa needs to like come out and justify anything for one, like things like letting people know that they'll. I get why she said that, of course. She wants to reassure people, but if whatever they do to honor Kobe's legacy and their daughter's legacy is up to them, of course. But I think with the deal itself, I don't know. From what I've read, it seems like their estate withdrew from negotiations. So obviously Nike and them couldn't come to an agreement. What the finer details of that were, I'm not too sure. But it is sad. It's really sad that no more Kobe products will be coming. That a lot of resellers kind of moved pretty poorly with that release in general, and with all the Kobe product that's come out, even the jerseys and stuff like that, it's got a little bit crazy. It is sad. It's just hard to comment and really give too much of an opinion. I mean, you would hope Nike, showed as much flexibility towards the Bryants as possible in those negotiations, but who's to say, So it's just a shame that we won't get to see any more product. Who knows though? Maybe in the future there might be something. Um, I don't think the door is closed forever. Um, it's something that it just seems like they couldn't come to agreement on at this time. And I do think who knows what element the reselling and the way the distribution um, went, how much of a role that played. It's hard to say. What do you guys think? I don't know. I think it's really tricky. It's such a sensitive issue with Bean.
Coming from the outside, it's hard to know because we don't know what was tried to be agreed. Was it unreasonable? Did Nike drop the ball? Who really knows? I do think though, with like the Grinches selling out, you kind of expect it because the shoe's going to be more hyped than ever with its passing, and it's a hype shoe as it is. So I guess they could have made like 4 times the amount or whatever to help fans out, but that's not really. Maybe it wasn't possible for Nike to do that or whatnot. So I don't know if I'm going to blame them too hard for how that release went and whatnot. But honestly, I'm not too sure what I expected a company to do, like when an athlete passes away, because I always assumed that like Nike owns all the stuff that's come out already, so they can keep releasing more of the same models that have come out if they want to. But I guess that's not the case. What did you guys think of how that all
That,
works?
I think that would be down to the agreement, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, I always think to myself, like, as I don't know if Nike's just being savage with it and just, thinking real business minded. Like, are any of his products going to sell anymore? And I think it is going to sell in seconds. It's going to sell out in seconds. But I also think Nike are so like business minded that they're still thinking of the whole move to zero campaigns and stuff like that. So okay, fair enough. Vanessa's asking for more units to be created, to be made, so it can be catered to all the Kobe fans like across the world. But
that's not Nike's business model.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Are they not making the units because of the whole move to zero campaign as well?
I
It's
really think it's the resellers. Because you got to imagine, say if one pair would normally sell, there's going to be like 20 sales because people are buying it just in case. So the numbers aren't real. It's hard to judge.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It is hard to say. Like the Kobe fans are gonna be a lot of people going to be buying that, but a lot of people won't, and a lot of people buying it are resellers thinking there's money to be made here, right? So
mm,
I don't know.
For
It's
all
it's
we
hard.
know, they wanted some like really long deal, and Nike,
I
with their
think,
projections, think that it's not going to be that sustainable to be worth their while. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I think if they're probably thinking 20 years, 10 years down the line, even like
yeah,
something like that, how much value is there in a long term deal? I mean, you see, like Reebok are still paying AI, right?
Yeah, mad.
Yeah.
it's
So
crazy.
like,
Yes, it is hard to comment when you don't know like the full facts and whatnot, but it's sad that it's come to this end. You know, like who's to blame really? Is it the Bryant family? Is it Nike? Is it resellers?
Well, that whole thing about him maybe having his own brand thing
Yeah,
definitely probably is
exactly.
a factor.
Like they saw it as, oh, you
Yeah,
know,
what's this?
he's been taking advantage of what you know
What we've
what
built, kind of thing.
exactly, yeah. Which is sad to see, man. You see you see other athletes with lifelong contracts. So
Yeah,
Ronaldo,
LeBron's
um,
got one as well, hasn't
yeah,
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 he?
he
LeBron's got a
does.
lifetime contract as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
LeBron, and it's just like I don't think this situation, this scenario has ever happened. Really, has it?
Yeah.
No, not that I can think of.
For Nike or for any brand, I suppose. Um, no one's really passed away in that sense. It is really difficult to.
Did you see that they're bringing out two more pairs?
I did, yeah, and also I'm hearing that there's going to be pre-orders.
Wow.
You hearing about that?
No.
Yeah, I'm hearing there's going to be pre-orders going forward, like in the future.
But are they still able to release Kobe stuff after this fact? What exactly is? I need to know that. And Nike saying that from that day or whatever, we're done selling them ever again or what?
I imagine so.
That's crazy.
Um,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
resellers are definitely going to be eating then.
people are gonna be going in. It's,
it's
it's
going to be
gonna
crazy.
gonna be ugly.
It's going to be nasty. Yeah, if you're Kobe head, it's peak.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Whole pre-order thing, though. What I read was, and I don't even know if this is accurate, but it's going to be like one person per household. But I mean, people just make up any old
Mate, there's
address.
ways around everything.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
do deliveries like on these raffles, one household, and people end up with 30 boxes from the same shop, so it don't mean nothing.
I don't know. I just feel sad that this has got to happen. This kind of scenario has got to happen, and I guess Nike are probably thinking like business must go on. I suppose, isn't it? It's not fair, but it probably would be good to see if Vanessa will, move forward with a Kobe or a Bryant brand, maybe perhaps that her and the daughters could like build upon for future, for future athletes, like basketball athletes, even like and beyond. So it'll be
Such a
good.
hard thing to do, don't it?
It is, man. It is. So it's exciting. I suppose it's an avenue for Vanessa to go down. So hopefully something positive comes of this. But anyway, we'll move on, lads. We are moving on to our favorite part of the podcast. We like to call HSU question time. This is the part of the podcast where we give you, the listener, a chance to ask about absolutely anything that's going on within the sneaker realm. And this week on HSU Question Time, we've got a few questions from you guys. Big shout out to everyone that gets involved each and every week. And the first question comes from Numbers NZ. Shout out to Dan. It's almost winter in New Zealand. What's your go-to rainy day weather kicks? Ash, let's go to you first.
Okay. So back in the day, well, not even that long ago, maybe up to about 3 years ago, it used to be the black cement freeze because they're a tank and you can wear them whenever and water just doesn't get through. But as I've told you before, I went to Winter Wonderland. I think it was 2018. Then my shoe was a bit squidgy, making some funny sounds. I came home and the whole sole pretty much came apart. And I don't want to wear my new BC3, so I've only got one more pair of them to fuck them up. So it's not the BC3 anymore. It's probably going to be my bread ones. They're always by the door. They can take a beating and they look pretty dope still.
Man said bread ones, you know.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
That's the rainy day kicks. Dean, what's your rainy day kicks, man?
You know what? It used to be Jordan 1 black toe. I used to wear that all the time. Because you don't get any of the color bleed that you get with like the colored toe boxes.
Yeah, my ones have a little funny bit. It goes, yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, so like sometimes I don't like to wear the bread toe, for example, because of that. Because I get some weird reaction to the leather.
It goes away, but it looks scary for a second.
Yeah, it does go away, but I've noticed the red leather reacts sometimes with the
Yeah.
rain,
Yeah.
in a fucked up kind of way. So you kind of you try want to avoid it. So I used to wear the black toes all the time. Nowadays, since that shoe's like 800 pounds now, I don't do that as much. I still wear it obviously, but just nowhere near the way I used to. But now, probably I still think of just Jordan ones. I always go for ones that aren't like suede or nubuck or anything like that.
You
Straight
can't go
leather.
wrong.
Just leather. You just know it's like it's gonna be calm. There's no worries.
It's
You
crazy
know.
how many other shoes are like mesh these days, isn't it? Or suede and stuff. You
Yeah,
can't really.
yeah. They
Yeah.
don't.
There's a
You
lot
just
of shoes
can't
I can't
really.
actually rock most of the year.
You'll fuck them up if you go into the rain. Like it just takes one time, and if you go out in a suede shoe, it can get really ruined. So
I don't trust any of those repellents enough to
nah, man. I
test it
don't
out
like.
either.
I don't really use those. I don't spray anything on my shoes like that. So
Yeah, proper ruins it, man. I've seen like drip speckles like all over a shoe.
Oh
And
boy.
you just didn't, yeah, like you've left it to dry, you've given it its time, you come back to the shoe and it's just speckles of like dry white powder water all over it. And you're like, what the hell is this? Oh yeah, it's the bloody Crep Protect. For me, lads, mine's a bit left, to be honest. I've got a pair of Air Max 97s. And it's, I don't know if you'd consider this hype, but yeah, they are the black undefeated 97s that are just patent.
Okay.
Um, I don't know why. I do actually just reach for those. I don't really I don't really care for them that much. I think that's quite bad. Because they were quite hard to get as well. But the only reason I wear those during a rainy day is because any water goes onto it, it literally just trickles off. Um, your socks don't get wet or anything like that. But I've also got another pair that I usually go to, which is a pair of Bape Roadsters, 2008, which are just all patent. And it's like orange, blue. It's quite a wild color, actually. Orange, blue, and purple.
What the
The
hell do you drip that with?
back in the day, pre 2010, when it was like Pharrell, Nego kind of, your crepes were just loud.
Yeah.
Your hoodies were like loud colored vape camo. I was proper into that. And in 2008, I went to LA to the vape store and managed to get those. And now I don't really care about them, the Roadsters no more. So yeah, if I still want to, I don't know, bit of a flex, then I might wear either those two, those 97 undefeateds or the great Roadsters, because I know water just won't go through it. Good question. Good question. And our next question is from at B Coughlin. What was the sneaker that started it all for you? Dean, let's go to you first.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before, but it was the cool grey fours. Um, so I was always into ones more than fours after that, but initially it was just seeing those one of my friends at school, and yeah, from there I just became really fascinated with the idea of getting them. I'd always thought certain sneakers were cool, but like the possibility of owning one became more and more interesting after that. So I'll go with that one.
Fire. Ash, how about you?
If we're talking about what got me into like heavy into sneaker collecting, then that's and like Jordans and stuff, it's the
Yeah,
Black Cement 3, definitely,
yeah,
because every time I've seen that shoe, it's just so fire. Days when Kanye was wearing it and whatnot made me like it even more. Just a banging shoe. But before all that, just in shoes in general, it was probably Air Force Ones. That was my thing, like college days,
yeah,
where I started
yeah.
to like pay attention to what people were wearing and stuff. I think that was the same sort of time that Nelly had the Air Force One song and whatnot as well.
Yes.
It was banging.
Do you know what? I'm literally gonna mirror this, Ash. I've mentioned this before as well, but when I used to work at First Sport in Marble Arch, I bought my first pair all white, like triple white Air Force Ones,
Yeah.
and yeah, that would be, I don't know, but in that particular store, all of us loved the Air Force Ones, the triple white Air Force Ones, whether
Mm,
you're a girl or one of the supervisor managers. So our whole store used to rock like our uniforms, which was like red and blue. I don't know if you remember what the First Sport logo looked like. And
vaguely.
then, yeah, you just have all white Air Forces. But yeah, like Ash, I think what triggered off the collection is probably for me was the Stealth Air Jordan 3. Managed to cop those so easily at the Stratford store when
Oh yeah, same
West.
me and you, same. Yeah, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, the first day it opened actually, and it was heaving with people. I've said this before, but yeah, it was just literally as you came through the double doors, they were on the table. Asked the guy for a pair. Managed to get a pair of Stealth Air Jordan threes. I think they were like £95 back then, maybe £100. But yeah, super like dirt cheap. I thought that was expensive. But yeah, Stealth threes for me. Good question. Next question is from our guy Barry. Not fits, just kicks. We don't mind spending big on sneakers, but can you name one thing that you hate paying full price for? Ash, just go to you first.
Yeah, oddly enough, it's a random one, but it's like mobile phone apps. They're so cheap, but I think it's because I used to have before I got my iPhone, used to have an Android phone, and getting apps for
Um,
free on there was so easy. But on iPhone, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So when the app is like 90p, I'm just contemplating it for ages. Like, do I need it that badly? Whereas if it's a shoe and it's a raffle, I don't even look at what the price is. I'm just gonna enter it. It's just a weird thing, but yeah, mobile phone apps for me.
Bro, that's actually so true though, man. Like all them Adobe apps, man. Even if, even if it is for your
But some apps taking a piss there. They like, literally want like $4.99 a month. I'm like, what are you giving me for like some little phone app?
Dean, how about you, man?
yeah, mine's gonna sound weird as well, but I'm only saying this because I've noticed it recently. Is that I didn't realize I must have been buying deodorant at half price for like years now. 'Cause I'm see- I'm se- I'm seeing it like at £4. I'm like, what the hell
No,
is
certain
that,
places the bump.
bro? I see some Dove deodorant I've been using for like 2 years. It's always been a 189. I'll go get it. And the other day I went into, where was it? It might have been Boots, and it was £4. And I and it's like I realized then I must have been just getting it on the half price thing every time. So yeah, it's got to
Boots
be
is a
that.
bump though.
Yeah, you got to go super drug, innit?
Yep.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
but that.
yeah. They're a bit bumpy as well though. Sometimes,
Mm.
I mean, some of these places are a bit mad, but that's a different discussion.
What about you, Mo?
You know, I think this all of our answers are going to be weird. But for me, it's car windscreen wash.
Wow.
Bro, I don't know if you've like obviously I don't. You guys don't drive, right?
I don't.
Nah.
You
Just a
can
train.
drive, but you just don't. Yeah, just a train. But for me, I'm I'm literally like, if you go to a petrol station, yeah, that stuff is so overpriced. Like, why am I going in there? Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, £8. Yeah, but if you just go to like, I don't know, maybe Halfords, go to a market or something like that, you can potentially pay for like 1 litre bottle for about £2 or something like that. Maybe £2,
Yeah, but
£3.
petrol stations are the worst, man. They're
It's
trying.
the convenience in it. They're adding that price up.
They try and pull some shit with their prices, man.
But do you know, like you're always in them situations when you need something the
Yeah.
most, bro. Like you want to go and get a bottle of Coke, but I don't know, convenience, like the convenience store, corner shop is closed. The only thing that's open is fucking Shell. You go in there to get a bottle of Coke. You go and pay for it. The man says £5. What? Why are you
Can't
paying
believe they
five?
get away with this stuff, man.
But it's so true. It's so true. Like Barry, like we probably spend, that's our biggest expense every month, paying for sneakers, right? We don't mind paying for
It literally doesn't cross my mind.
it. Doesn't
It's bad though
exactly.
because when you think about the entries that where they take your money as well, I got like 2 grand up in raffles at the moment, and it's like you don't even realize it. It's a bit crazy if it all comes through.
It's painful when it's like, and they haven't given it back after like 14
Oh
days.
man,
And then
yeah,
they said, it will hit your account in 5 days' time. You're like,
maybe.
okay, terrible. Before you know it, the whole month's gone. Good question, Barry. Our next question is from SW Sneakers _ shout out Double Up Podcasts. Is there a shoe that you've always wanted to rock, but it just doesn't suit you? Ash, let's go to you first.
Well, there's a shoe that I don't know if it doesn't suit me because I've never tried it on, but the Balenciaga Triple S, for some reason I really like it, but I just don't think it would suit me, so I'd never buy it. But I really like that shoe for some reason.
You need
That's
Jesus
not even
Christ.
that's not even a thing anymore.
You
They
need
even sell
Jesus
those shoes
Christ.
still.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Shout out
That
to
thing,
Drips. Drips knows.
that thing is like Thor's hammer
That's like the ultimate Sakai, basically.
in it, in it.
Nah. Come on, Ash.
You got to give the inspo some. You got to give it some. Come on, man.
The vape, maybe for the vapor,
Yeah, the
not
Wave
the.
4 one more, not the original one. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I hear that.
Comparable. Dean, how about you, man?
Jordan 6, man. Any Jordan 6, like
Mm.
that shit's like a brick, man. It's on your foot. That will take you to the bottom of the ocean. That shoe, I swear, that shit is heavy. I put it on, and I immediately feel weighed down. I feel like my days got worse when I put the shoes on because I just feel heavier. So like that's got to be that one. It just don't work for me, man. And I feel like the taller you are, the better it looks as well.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm 5'9", so
You're not 5'9".
I'm 5'9", man.
5'10" on a good day. I think you're taller.
Oh,
No, not in a bad way. I think you're taller.
maybe on a good day, maybe in a certain
Yeah,
shoe.
Maybe in
when you get
Tim's.
enough sleep.
Yeah, maybe if I get a good night's rest, which is rare.
For me, lads, I don't even know the name of the model, but I always see it on like Offspring table. As you come in to Offspring store, there's always one whole table dedicated to Adidas Y3, any Adidas
Okay.
Y3 sneaker, like any Yoji Yamamoto sneaker. I don't know, ones that are like ninja looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
What were those ones that Jerry was wearing? The sort
uh
of like Ultra Boost kind of ones.
yeah, that's it.
They were popular.
I don't even know like the names of the models, but I always like there's a certain little bit of liking to it whenever I see it.
Mm.
And I think to myself, nah, the price ain't nice.
Your wife is steep.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, man.
But like Dean said, I thought it was gonna be common projects. That's always the thing I see
Yeah, when you
when I go
go
into
Osprey,
selfridges.
yeah, it's the first thing. They got that whole like layout, and then they've got the common projects pairs, which all look really nice, but they're
Just
so
the
expensive.
£350
Yeah,
downstairs.
literally, literally. I get it; it's made in Portugal, but unless it's coming with like tapas and things like that, it's not worth the price, man.
I really, really wish that I could wear Chuck Taylors, like
Mm.
regular Converse Chuck
Mm.
Taylors. They just don't look good on me, man.
Even the
And
low ones or what?
yeah,
Both.
either or. And what's nuts is my mum used to put me in Converses all the time, like as
Mm.
a kid. But now I don't know, it just doesn't suit me. And especially obviously you guys have seen it as well, like bloody Travis Scott wearing the
Oh
CDG
yeah.
Mm.
Converse.
I checked StockX straight away to see if there was any jumps, but it was the same at the time.
Nah, they've just.
Isn't
I reckon it's too far gone. That shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you'll see him do like a CDG collab with like the upside down heart instead. Our next question comes from the homie Mark at 1985. What do Reebok need to do to be relevant again? I'll kick this one off, lads. For Reebok to be relevant again, I really do feel like they need some more franchise players in the game. If you
Yeah.
look at historical previous years, like let's go back to the 90s, what they had Sean Kemp, they had AI obviously. Anyway, and then if you fast forward to like 2000, they did have a little collaboration with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't. I don't know. Do you think that worked? I don't think that really worked, because then afterwards he shortly moved over to Nike, and he
Yeah,
had
which
them
seemed like a better fit.
the house slippers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
God.
but yeah, I always think that they need big franchise players. So they need to be looking at NCAA, looking at who they think is going to be up and coming.
Do you think it's the
I mean,
basketball space they need? Yeah.
well, not even that, even American football.
Yeah, but do you think what are we talking about for Reebok though? Like to be because we're talking about casual stuff, or we're talking about on the field, like because it's different topic.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say both, because you know how it is now. Athletes, as they're walking into the game, they're wearing the lifestyle sneaker.
Mm.
And then when they're on the court, they wear the athletes, the sports sneaker, what they're supposed to be made for. But yeah, I think they need to gain more traction with probably celebrities, like more higher end celebrities.
The thing is, they've had some technically big names because they used to sponsor the UFC. So like Conor McGregor, Khabib, and them lot all had to wear Reebok stuff all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
that's not going to move the needle, is it? Conor is a style guy, but he's a suit guy. He's not like a streetwear guy, so that doesn't really help. Who's
Yeah.
who they got on their like roster? I know the Weekend, is he still a Reebok guy? Was he Puma? I'm making that up.
I think he's
Is
Puma.
it Puma? Yeah. Who's Reebok got like
See, this is
celebrity
it.
wise?
This is it. They need to look forward 5 to 10 years,
Hmm.
who they can grab early enough. But then, you've also got the whole artist collaboration now. Do you know what I mean? They need to be looking at musical artists as well. Same way Nike have been doing, same way Adidas have been doing, but they need to do it super
Yeah, they
early.
need to be first before that guy
Exactly.
starts bigging up Nike, and then it's like too late. It looks fake.
Yeah, exactly. They've got a lot. They need a lot of background researchers to do that work first. You know, to see who's trending. If they looked at people who are up and coming, I don't know, fashion designers, up and coming athletes, up and coming artists, perhaps they could jump on that wave. But as it stands, they're not really doing anything at all, are they?
The thing is, when I
Especially,
was into Reebok, I was into like Reebok classics, and there wasn't because of any celebrity or anything. It was just the shoe that was popular with all the kids. I don't know what it was. So I don't know how you get that kind of thing going without like a celebrity endorsement these days. Just to randomly get a shoe popping off. Like the Fila Disruptor was like super random how that became the shoe that all these little girls happen to be wearing. Reebok needs to
In,
have something like that kick off for them.
Dean, what are you thinking?
Yeah, just pretty much echo what you guys say. I think they've made a lot of positive steps. They've released a lot of popular shoes, retroed a lot of popular shoes. They've done some cool collaborations with some artists and brands. So they're making the right strides. I just think they were so far behind for so long. They've got a lot of distance to cover still, and I
There's a
think
lot of people ahead of them.
exactly, and I think they need to keep doing what they're doing, but like you guys said, amplify it like on the court with the talent and also in the influencer space. Reach out to a really big influencer and give them complete creative control on the project. When I say influencer, I mean like musician or something, someone
Yeah.
really, really popular, and just give them total control, and see what they can do. And that might be something that ignites it. Yeah, I think it's hard. I think it's so competitive now, and I think between Nike, Adidas, New Balance, it's really hard to get a spot. But Reebok they've been they've been making an effort to do that, and I think they've done well in some regard there. So I think they need to keep it up, but just put more and more money into it. Keep putting that money into it, and see where it takes them.
Who do you think's doing better out of them and Puma?
I think. Well, do you know what? I think Puma have like really thrown so much money into the effort. Like when
Crazy
they
marketing
it's
dollars.
like they like have they signed so many NBA rookies. They released the Clyde again and had a massive campaign around that. They teamed up with like all these musicians like Nipsey Hussle, The Weekend, loads of like they did even the high fashion collab. I think who was it with? Was it with one of the French brands? They did a collaboration there. So they've put so much into it. They're working with so many influencers. I see on my feed so many influencers get stuff from Puma, but it's like I've said it before. But with Puma, I just get the vibes where you're just throwing enough shit at the wall, some of it will stick,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel very targeted. And
I do see a lot of people wearing them though.
yeah,
I will
because
say that.
they
Yeah.
they've put such a big campaign behind it, and they've really done well to like get that relevancy back again. They are like in there now. People wear it. People like that rider shoe. What's it called? The
Yeah.
Future
Future
Rider.
Rider. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other silhouettes. We saw what was that big chunky one everyone loved when it dropped.
RSX.
Yeah, that
Mm.
one. They had some success with those shoes, and that really like kind of got them back. But I think now it'll be interesting to see how they take the next step now, because I think some of Reebok's collaborations have been a little bit smarter and a little bit more tailored to their audience. I think
Yeah. They've been more in
Puma,
the sneakerhead lane than like the casual.
yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah.
Puma feels really muddled right now. I don't know who they're trying to target. Every campaign feels really different, and that might be me looking at it with my job cap on. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's how I see it. But I still think Puma are ahead of them, obviously. But I just
mm,
think that's because they've spent a lot of money. They really have put a lot of money into it. I mean, they were signing up rookies like there was nobody's business.
I
I mean,
remember they done, I can't remember if it was a year or two ago, but they done a massive campaign with Carl Kuzma, and they
yeah,
yeah.
put his
yeah.
name on like a massive wall. And
Hmm.
instead of it saying Puma, it said Kuzma, which was pretty cool. And obviously, Puma have also done that campaign with Ryuji and Rude. So that was pretty good for them to sort of jump into streetwear exposure, but they need to be more consistent. And I think I don't know. I
They did
think
the J. Cole thing as well.
exactly. Yeah. If I was Reebok, I would just take the blueprint, man. Just 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 copy the blueprint of what Puma's been doing, and then just
I think
exactly.
everyone has their space. You just got to find your lane, what you're going to
Yeah.
focus on. Because you got to realize you're not going to be in the Nike lane. So just don't even try and get on it. Just find
You
something
got
else.
what basically is the New Balance way. The way they did it,
Mm.
they knew the strength of their silhouettes. They knew that they had an audience that loved their products, and they knew they could expand on that, right? And they did that with really smart, on the nose collaborations with brands that were really popular at those times and like really coming up. And they've created this sort of synergy with their audience. There's a huge brand love for New Balance, and I don't see
Yeah,
that same brand love for Puma. And that's because, again, like when you're doing campaigns that are so like wide in scope, like high fashion designer, then loads of rappers, and then it doesn't feel targeted. Whereas New
Yeah.
Balance speak to their audience through their collaborations, like we know what you like. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how these brands go over the next couple of years, because it's good. We want to see competition. We want Puma, we want Reebok, we want all these guys to be
yeah.
doing really well. That's the only way, the sneaker market and the sneaker culture will stay as strong as it is now. Yeah.
So true. So true. Next question is from at Lucky13Kicks. Shout out Mike. What UK music artist has the biggest impact on the sneaker game? So it's UK music artists. Ash, let's go to you.
You know what? I really don't know. I was struggling to think
I
of that, to be honest.
I
yeah.
mean,
You got
I
an
was
idea, Dean?
I was just thinking it's either Dizzy or
Yeah, I
Skepta,
had
right?
Dizzy, but that didn't do
yeah,
nothing for me personally. So that's why I
Yeah.
don't
Do
think
you
of
know
it.
what? I think like with Dizzy, it's like he was really that was like really early in the sort of like
2000s. Yeah,
yeah, like it was quite big in the way he was known within the sneaker community and the way that pair released and the way that Air Max 180 kind of came to fruition. If we look on a wider scale, I do like Skepta's had a really big. I don't personally. The shoes have never done anything for me
Same.
personally, but a lot of people love them, and it definitely some of the earlier models, especially, definitely went down pretty
yeah.
well.
And abroad as well, like people cared about it in
Exactly.
other countries,
Because
which is
he
big.
has that fan base. He's like got that kind of international base where, and the shoes kind of appealed on that scale. So I would probably say him. But we haven't seen a lot.
It's tough again because Dizzy came out during a time where there was no proper social media yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas Skeppy, obviously, he was always around from like way back when, but he blew more when social media was around, I guess. So I
Yeah.
suppose he could sell more units. There was more of a case for him, I suppose, signing up with Nike. But I think it's be unanimous for all of us to say Skeppy, I suppose.
It's
UK.
a weird one because it is. I guess it's for the UK. It's not for me personally, but yeah, for the UK that makes sense. Skeppy, yeah.
The thing is, there's not many, is there? Not many
Nah,
UK.
there
No.
isn't.
It's a bit one-sided in that sense.
Did Tiny Temper ever have any collaboration? Am I making that up?
I don't recall.
Because I know he had his own. I can't remember what his brand's called now. Because I know he had his own brand in clothes in Selfridges and whatnot, but I can't remember if he had
Yeah,
a
yeah, I remember that.
shoe collab.
Same with Tinchy Strider. He had them headphones, didn't he?
Mm.
Tell you
What
what, he
else?
did
And
well.
Lethal B.
Yeah.
Dench. Where's the Dench collab?
Yeah. Those memes were jokes.
Shout out to the local lad.
And our next question comes from @_sneaker teacher. Shout out to you. What model from any brand do you think will be a future classic? Whew.
Which way are you going to look at this, guys? I've got an answer. If you want to deliberate.
Yeah, go ahead. Like while
Yeah,
we
it's going
think.
to be the shoe that I mention every episode. So yeah, I think the New Balance 992, because obviously it came out like 2006, I think. Then it was discontinued. Obviously made famous Steve Jobs' favorite pair that you see him rocking back in the day and whatnot. Came back 2020. It's been going from
That,
strength to strength since. Probably one of like a lot of New Balance heads' favorite shoes at the moment. And I think in like 10, 20 years' time, it's going to be one of those shoes that everyone's going to remember, especially with all these collabs that have been coming out.
see, this is the thing. Is it? Are we talking like newer silhouettes, or are we talking about silhouettes that have been retroed in that sense? Because
Well, I don't know. It's got to be newer because you can't. If it's already a
yeah,
classic,
Should
then
have
it
only
can't
come
be.
out once, you think?
Yeah. No, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
future classic.
I
Like,
I don't know. I think it's a tricky question. I think the way Ash has looked at it is the way I would look at
It's
it. Like
different. Yeah.
someone new in the last 20 years or something like that has come back or wasn't
Like, do
popular.
you think the Vapor Max is going to be a classic in the future?
this is it, man. I don't think so, man.
Some shit like that.
I hope not. Um,
I hate that shoe.
yeah, so
It
bad.
looks like football boots to me.
It would just pisses me off, man, when I see it.
Do you know what? I'll say this, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm cheating here. If we say the Sakai waffle, but obviously
It's a bit tricky because it's a collab, but I know what you mean.
it's taken parts from the waffle which had already come out.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the Sakai have put
I
their
think that's fair.
midsole outsole on it
I think that's fair because they totally revolutionized.
I think that's a shoe that people are going to like go crazy over in years' time.
because it's new. It's a new silhouette. I'll take it on that.
Yeah, even though
At
it's
that.
pieces of another shoe, it's still a new thing.
I agree with that. I think that is no like the way the waffle used to look. They really like played around with it, and I think on the
Yeah.
first drop, especially when you see the details and you actually look at the shoe and look at the way it's made, it's really something to marvel at. It's a really well made shoe. That's why it's so fragile. It may not like hold up especially well for that long, but the way it's made is such a delicacy to the process on it, and I think for from a design point of view, they really did something. How often do you see a collaboration do something that they
So
really
executed well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah they went for it and they pushed it out there and like it's done wonders for the Sakai brand as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a good
Yeah.
shout, man.
That's a good
I'd
one.
say I'd say that I'd say that shoe will be a future classic. Give it like 8, 10 years. Everyone will be like fighting over that shoe again and being like, "Yeah, I wish I had those."
Do you know why I think you're right as well? Actually, thinking about it, because that is a one-off silhouette. Nike are not gonna do
Mm,
that shoe again, and yeah, that's a good shout because it's never gonna come
yeah,
back, is it? Unless they do another Sakai collab, but I doubt that. I doubt that.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see in like 10 years' time,
Mhm.
lads. That goes. And our last question, lads, is from the homie Lone Ranger. Shout out Cass. What's been the drop in 2021 that shocked you? How popular it was?
There's been
Dean,
so many.
Oh
there has
boy, you know what
Dean.
immediately comes to my mind? Them ready-made blazers, was it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. And I see people, I swear to God, the Twilight Zone swoosh, yeah. I see people like going mad for me. I'm like, fair enough. Like, clearly I'm not
You like
getting
what you like.
yeah, I'm clear. It's clearly me. Like, I'm not seeing it. But I think they're so bad that you'd have to pay me to wear that shoe. Honestly, it's for me. Like, I don't like just yeah, no.
The swoosh barely looks like a swoosh on that pair.
It looks like the swoosh I drew when I was 8.
Yeah.
It's like that sort of swoosh. Um,
Is it because Travis wore it when it was
I didn't
leaked?
even see him wear it, to be
I
honest.
think I think that had
I
an
must have
effect
missed that.
because
Must have, yeah.
Mm,
they're just. I
mm.
don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk too harshly on it, but yeah.
I suppose also because it had the whole move to zero, reuse the materials on the shoe as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that I suppose
No,
that
that's a
made.
bad
I
shoe.
totally get you. Aesthetics wise, yeah. um, Ash, you want to go?
Yeah, for me, simple one. The taupe haze Jordan 4.
You got it in for this
I
shoe,
fucking hate that shoe.
Oh,
And it bothers me because people absolutely love it.
yeah. Yeah.
Like proper a lot of people. When Offspring posted their topic recently about your top 3 pickups of the year, and so many people had that in there. So must be a shoe people love, but I think it's horrendous. I thought it was gonna be a shoe that I'd actually want, but when I saw the close ups of that material, no thank you. Keep it
I
away from
think
me.
I think I think there's been a lot of that this year. I think you know what it is. I think a lot of new sneakerheads are in the game now, and they get really excited for these shoes that are like, for example, when you've been like doing it, you've seen so many colorways and variations come out, right? that it just doesn't excite you as much as when you're new. So I think there's that newer excitement. So
Yeah,
to
Uni
them,
Blues, Hyper
yeah,
Royals.
yeah, like but I was literally gonna say those two
Yeah,
pairs to me, I'm not interested whatsoever. Like I've got the
Yeah.
UNCs, I've got the Storm Blues, like I've got Royals. Those to me are the blues like I'm interested in. So like, but I guess like when you're new, those pairs are like gonna be what excites you, isn't it? So.
yeah,
Do you know? I don't want to. I don't want to go into it in too much depth, but I've already seen. I've already seen off-white laces in them uni blue fours.
Oh boy.
You couldn't help yourself, man.
Not the one. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say those Adidas South Park Towerly shoes. Like, okay,
Hmm.
I don't know if it was popular because of when it first came out. The price of it was just ridiculous on the resale market.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
It
it's a
made
tricky one.
it is, yeah, it is.
Was it
But
just that or what?
I don't know, But that is that is for me, like that wouldn't even cross my mind. That's a straight skip. Like,
But maybe South Park's bigger than I think it's because I don't watch South Park, so
yeah,
I don't know how popular that character is and whatnot.
never heard of him.
Never see
Never,
same same.
never heard of that character. I don't know. I don't know if that it kind of shocked me, but I imagine it was because of the resale price in it. Guys, thank you so much for getting the HSU question time questions in. As you know, this is our favorite segment, so it's wicked to get you guys to participate in our favorite part. But yeah, get involved each and every week on the HSU Instagram story. We normally chuck that out sort of 1 or 2 days before we're about to do the podcast. So get involved in that. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate you. On to the next segment, lads, of Half Size Up. And we have Cop of the Week. In this segment, we discuss what sneakers we copped or wanted to cop this week. And this week, Dean, we'll start with you, bro.
Yeah, no cops from me this week, so nice and quick there.
Nothing you saw that you might have wanted to cop.
Nope, nope, nothing.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, man. I keep my nose clean. I'm not distracted. I just go forward in it. That's it. Focus on the ones I want, and that's it. Like,
My guy's focused.
yeah, focusing on saving some money. We'll see. We'll see. Mm.
I like that. I like that. Ash, how about you, bro?
Two pickups this week. Both from Dean's favorite app. Shout out sneakers.
When you say what it is, yeah, I'm just gonna play this sound effect.
Okay, so first off, I got early access on the Nike SB Dunk High Hawaii. Yes.
Okay, go.
Yeah, and the wifey got early access on the Jordan 5 Raging Bull.
No, that's fire.
So yeah, I got both of those two pairs, and also got another Raging Bull, which was for Mikey. Got another W on the sneakers app, so that's 3 in a week. Yeah. So yeah, it was a good week for cops. You know, I always say Jordan 5 is not a shoe that I'm into. I got that shoe. I said when she got it, I said, go for my size. Let's see what they're like. And I see them in hand. They're nice. I still haven't tried them on, to be fair. I'll try them on tomorrow and see what I really think of them. But looks wise, they're pretty nice. So I'll see if I'm going to keep them or not. But not too sure at the moment. And Hawaii's are cool. I think they look better as they come rather than what's underneath it.
What is the underneath pattern anyway?
It's like green and it's just a bit weird. Doesn't look that nice. A lot of shoes that tear away don't look that cool to me, and it doesn't seem like it's a shoe where it will actually like rub away unless you're doing some hardcore skating. You actually have to get a knife to it to open it up.
Does it come with any spare laces?
Yes, it does. Colorway, I cannot remember. I cannot remember what color it is, but it does come with spare lace.
Did it come in an SB box?
Yeah, the same ones of the recent one with like yellow, blue, green, and whatnot.
Good cops this week, Ash.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much the same as you. We have to tread lightly here, lads. On the sneakers app, managed to managed to pick up the Raging Bull fives like Ash.
I got the fives on the sneakers app as well.
That's why I was laughing. I was waiting for you to come in, Dean, and you
No, it's
ruined
not
it.
for me. But those like are sitters, man. Like the
Yeah.
resale's like £6, so it's not nothing to celebrate.
You know- Do you know what? For me, I really like this sneaker. Um,
Craig said the material's like coconut husk.
no, you know what? I think it's actually better. I think it's better
It
than
is
the old.
fluffier than I thought it would be.
I don't know,
It
man.
looks a bit furry, man. I don't know. Looking a
It
little
is
bit like
furry.
it's
It
furry,
is,
yeah.
it is very, but the OGs were furrier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're much furrier. Yeah, but for me, I managed to pick those up. I like them a lot. Obviously, could never get them. You know, they're way out of reach for me way back then because it was a double pack. I mean, obviously, in recent podcasts in previous weeks, I did say I wanted them. So I'm just super happy to get them because if I didn't get them and then I saw everyone else get them, I'd just be like, why the fuck are these?
Yeah, they were. Everyone was getting then like a random few people take an L on it. It's just one of the weird ones. So it could have been you. So be happy you got it.
Yeah, I'm gassed. I'm gassed for them, man. The box alone, man.
Box is fire.
That box is fire. Yeah, translucent, outsole, 3M tongue, lace loops, the fighter jet flames on the midsole. It's cool, man. 23 on the heel counter.
Well, you're just describing a Jordan 5, bro.
I mean, I like Jordan 5s.
Of course, it
What can you
sounded good to me, innit? That's what I was just saying. I was
what can you do?
like, man was breaking it down. I was like, yeah, I like all of that.
But yeah, also managed to and I didn't go for it to be honest, but I think I got it and loads of other people got it. But there was exclusive access to the Legend Blue 11 lows.
But you cop those?
Nah, I left it. I
Yeah.
did put it out to the group to see if anyone else wanted them, but actually they were dead and nobody wanted them. And it did sit on the sneakers app for a long time, man. I was quite surprised.
So weird when you see that
Nah, I
happen
thought
now,
so.
innit?
What's the
Yeah,
price on them? Can you remember?
I'm gonna say 110.
No,
110. I
because the
can't
highs are
remember.
like 170. Can't be that much cheaper.
Maybe.
I'm not sure
Maybe
what it
one.
was, but yeah. I didn't think those were going to sell well, especially for all the stuff that came out. No one was looking for that.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose people go for the highs more than opposed to the lows. So
Definitely.
yeah. Apart from that, just the Raging Bull fives. There's there's a few sneakers that I want this week that's coming out. So hopefully we'll be able to secure some of them. So yeah, that's why last week was a bit lighter. Anywho, moving on to the next segment, guys. Up next, we have Sneaker Peeve of the Week. In this part of the podcast, we have a slight rant about our biggest sneaker peeves. So basically, we get to go in on something we've seen on social media or anything anywhere else. And this week's Sneaker Peeve of the Week comes from your boy Dean Steele. So D, over to you, bro.
Yeah, so for me this week, it's just basically colorway fatigue, man. I'm so tired of like already of all the dunk colorways and like I was so excited when the dunks were coming back. I was like, oh, this is a new sort of silhouette to get back into and explore. Like I never really rocked dunk highs. I was never into dunks like when I was growing up, you know. So it was something like new and exciting. But even then, you know, it was nice because it was coming in moderation to begin with. Now every week, like if there's a low, the same high drops 2 weeks later, and if there's like a high, then a month later the same low drops, and then they've got like the UNC now coming out, and they already had the Gold Coast one, which was the
That's
same
come out
shoe.
like 5 different variations of
Yeah,
color.
like it's already like feels like overkill, and I'm already find myself getting a little bit like bored of it. And it just makes them less special when they're like when there's like a 3, 4, 5 dunks every single month. It makes it less appealing to own the dunks. I know for a lot of
Yeah.
these new kids, like they want to get them on their shelves and have every single colorway like a compulsive thing. Like I get it, but like you know, for a lot of other people, where you're a bit more selective and you're less interested in having everything. You just want some of the things. It just makes it less fun and less interesting. And it definitely comes at a cost with the materials as well. So like, yes, to me, it's just that really, and it's not even just dunks as well. Like even with the Jordan ones, I'm so like, it's just
It
nothing
needs a
really.
break.
It does. They need to just chill for a bit. Like they haven't dropped. I think like it's just been one after the other, isn't it? Like even those that Freddy Krueger mask looking ones recently as well, the oil ones, and
Oh yeah,
Pretty
Patinga.
just
cool.
so many. Like I just,
No, I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
been every week for like the last 3 years. It feels like,
Yeah, it's just a lot, and
and so many are trash.
so many are just not good. Like they're just not it, and yeah, just this abundance of mediocre Jordan ones now everywhere.
Do you know what? So at the weekends, me and Kim took a trip down to Central to pick up because she won the was it Photon Grey dunk lows. And man, from the time you come out of Bond Street Station, you've crossed the road to Selfridges. I'm not even lying, lads. I probably saw like 100 pairs of dunks, like, and even the Jordan ones that you're saying. Everyone had these uni blue hyper royal hyper royal Jordans or the uni blue ones. Like every couple of meters, like every step you took,
Straight on feet.
literally wearing this sneaker. And it just makes you think like, I mean,
I always say that's the good and bad thing about those pickup days. It's good because you see everybody and it's all fun, but then when like it's like 100 people all getting the same shoes, like I don't feel that special anymore.
I don't know, man. There's just there's just a feel where you're just like, do I even want to like bust them now? Do I want to bust
I
them
ain't
like
rocking my time.
exactly? Yeah, you got to wait a couple years for people to forget about it and then bring it out again a year later, and people are like, oh damn, you got those. Like yeah.
I think you just bought them.
On to the next, lads. This is the part of the podcast we like to call "Take My Dough or Leave It, Bro." This is a quick fire round. One of us names a bunch of sneakers. The HSU team will have to say whether it's take my dough or leave it, bro. Simple game. This week, it's Ash's turn to set the tone. So, Ash, let's go.
All right, guys, got 5 pairs for you here. So starting off number one, the powerhouse himself, Zion Williamson, finally has his Jordan collaboration called the Zion 1 Gen Zion. What do you think of these?
Um, I'll go first. Do you know what? So I'm just looking at them now. I don't know. At first glance, it looks like a Paul George sneaker, like
Mm,
meshed
Mm,
up into like I don't know, into a Giannis sneaker.
yeah, the honest is what I was thinking about. The freak, yeah.
I
Exactly.
prefer
Yeah.
the freak though. To be
Me
honest,
too.
yeah,
Me too. But I mean, do you know what? Hats off to Zion. The dude is
absolutely.
like super young. You know, who can say at his age that he's got a Jordan Brown sneaker?
Imagine that.
I
Amazing.
mean, do you know what? I'd love for Nike to just send us all a pair. And
Yes, please.
I wouldn't mind if we just like did it out, got a feel for it. We might have a totally different
Yeah,
take on it once we've used it, once we've,
it would be amazing if we could. Yeah, have a go with the shoe.
but until then, I don't know, man.
Have you seen the white and sort of pinkish colorway, white and maroon?
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, that's probably for me the nicer one.
They're all right. They're
I don't
fine.
hate them, which is a good sign at least.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're not like yeah, they're all right. To leave it for me.
What's the
Yeah.
last on-court basketball shoe that came out recent that you've liked that you would wear off court?
Kyrie, ooh, of course.
Yeah, that you'd wear off court.
Off court.
Yeah,
Kyrie 3.
Because we know Jordans obviously were basketball shoes, but they work for lifestyle. Is there any in recent
Yeah.
times that work for you?
For me, it's the Kyrie 3, maybe the low 3.
Mm.
Um,
But it's
yeah.
been a while though, isn't it? Really?
I do, this is going to be so hype. What I'm going to say, but them Union Zooms,
Okay.
you know the ones that came out at the
Yeah, they're
same time that.
fire. They're fire, but that's cheating.
Yeah,
The Kyrie 5 is nice as well. I like that. I don't know.
Rocking out with
I,
some jeans, yeah.
I don't know about that, bro, but I'll find a way. I'll find a way.
Okay, right. You right? Anything? No?
yeah. No, do you know what I saw? You know the LeBrons that came out recently, the Laker colorway LeBrons that just
The
dropped. I think it's
95 ones.
no. They're
Oh, his
actually
actual LeBrons.
yeah. I think it's the 9. I think it's the 9.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I saw someone in Shoreditch wearing them with some denim, and actually they look fire. And the cut of the heel is not that high, kind of sits just above the ankle.
But even then, that's a 2011 shoe, technically.
Yeah,
You get me?
yeah,
So I think
yeah.
when we talk about these shoes, we got to think on court. Would you play in this? Because most of these aren't made for lifestyle, to be honest.
True,
And I guess
very
these
true.
are definitely a big man shoe, considering the
Yep.
size of that dude. Even though I think I weigh more than him.
I hope this pair, his foot don't go through it.
I know. That
Yeah.
was such a bad
Yeah.
look. What shoe was that? Was that Paul PG?
Oh, George.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mad.
I was back to PG, man.
Right, guys. Next shoe, we have the letter O from the A to ZX collection, which is the Overkill ZX 8,500. What do you think of these?
For me, these are wild, man. The colorway is just kind of loud for me. The overkill that's on like
It's
the
so
toe
bad.
down,
That's just
It's a
so
weird placement, isn't it? That like
sick.
writing, like
it's actually overkill for the shoe.
I don't know what this
it's
shoe is.
supposed to be a graffiti themed shoe.
Okay.
Yeah,
It gives me like proper like 90s vibes, like
yeah.
tracksuits and wildness like that.
It gives me
Mm,
Fresh
Yeah,
Prince
yeah.
yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I actually like them, but I just don't know. I would never wear. I don't think I would wear them with personally.
Mm.
But the overkill bit looks shit.
Yeah. It
If
looks
I'm being
so
serious,
bad.
I don't hate it. I just it's not for me. If that
That's a
makes sense.
leave it for me as well, man.
That's a leave it for me as well, Ash.
yeah, this A to ZX collection's not been very big with the HSU team, but there has been a couple nice pairs in there for me. But again, I haven't copped any, so it's as nice as that.
Mm.
Anywho, pair number 3, another pair of Adidas, which is the Bathing Ape Adidas Superstar Camo. This is the sort of off-whitish kind of pair with the standard Bape camo. What do you think of these, Dean?
I'm not a fan. I gotta say, it just doesn't hit for me. I'm sure some people will like them a lot, but do you know what it is? I just think because I'm not a big superstar guy in general.
Mm.
Yeah, it just makes the collab just not of interest for me. So it's an easy lever for me, but I'm sure some Bape heads will love this shit.
What about you, Mo?
I'm the same as Dean. I'm not really a superstar guy. Can fully appreciate the yellow Bape camo. I like the Bape Dubray on the bottom lace.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've never been a superstar guy myself, never been a shell toe guy. A Bape that I am waiting for though are those New Balance ones. So
Oh yeah.
I am gonna go with anything Bape. It's gonna be with MB. So it's a leave it bro for me, man.
Yeah, for me too. So leave it, bro. I've same as you guys, never liked superstars, but to be honest, this is probably the closest superstar that I have liked, but still not gonna cop it. If I'm
Yeah,
honest.
you get
Right.
that.
Pair number 4 is the Nike Dunk High EMB, standing for embossed. Lakers sort of themed colorway. What do you think it is?
Yeah, for me, it's a take my dough for me. Obviously, anything sort of Lakers, anything Staples Center, for me, kind of the attachment to it is instant because of myself being a Laker fan. Nothing to do with like LeBron coming to the Lakers because I was a Laker when Van Exel was there. Yeah, I mean, I just like it. It's quite a cool sneaker. Great for the collection. Wearability wise, it could work. Materials, the toe box looks like it's going to crease instantly.
What is that material?
It looks
It's got
kind
all
of
these lines
cushion.
on it. Like I don't think it's leather. Looks, I don't know.
Yeah, don't know. If, could be denim. Don't know, but it looks
Mm.
cushioned. But it looks like it will crease hella quickly. I just like the whole. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know,
it says
purple.
it's a black canvas denim twill.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Mm.
I've had a dunk like
Um,
that before. Those crease real bad because once they get like a line in it,
And it stays.
it just stays. Yeah, but they're black, so it might be better on these. I think.
Mm.
mm,
Yeah, it won't be as bad.
I think I just like anything Lakers themed.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Just
I think a lot of Lakers fans will quite like these.
What you saying,
yeah.
Dean?
Yeah, I don't like them. I'm not a Lakers guy. Um, they are, yeah, they're just very Lakers, and
And they're
I,
not
I,
Sixers enough.
they're not. Yeah, they're not enough sixes going on there. There's not enough of the Philly colors in there for my taste. You know what? If they did a dunk in the Philly colors, that would bang. So hopefully Nike do
Do you
something
guys
like
like the embossed bit?
no.
I think that's hideous. The Nike.
Actual the wording, the font.
Yeah, I think that's terrible.
Do you know the only thing that makes it work is the fact that it's got the Lakers like fast stripe.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's kind of cool, but also not. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you mean.
And the placement's just weird. No.
I kind of like the placement, man. I kind of like it. It's
It
odd.
depends the angle. I'm looking at it from like the back. It looks funky.
You look
From the back, you just see Ike.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
I'm looking at this close-up shot. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. The space between the K and the E is bothering me a little bit, but
Yeah.
Have you
Just the way
seen
the lettering is.
the tongue tag? That's pretty cool. Like so old school.
Yeah. Defo retro vibes. All right, guys. The last shoe. It's going to be interesting what you guys think it is. The Air Jordan 1 High OG Shadow 2.0. Dean, you first.
um, I don't like them.
Is it the shade or the color blocking?
It's just the color blocking doesn't do it for me. That really dark sort of color blocking, it's. I think the OG Shadow just looks way better. Um,
This is like the reverse breads, isn't it? To a bread, basically. The
exactly
color
like
blocking, yeah.
this kind of reverse, and I find quite often though, on a lot of the reverse colorways, whether they're Dunks or Jordans, quite often they don't do it for me. So maybe it's a
Yeah.
personal thing, but this sort of dark color blocking with the gray and then the black, it's something I can see I just don't need, and I have like to me I have the Shadow which is superior in every way, the OG 1.0. So to me this feels unnecessary, but like it is still like it's hard to like I have to take my hat off, like my Jordan hat off, and be like, look at it like as objectively as possible. It is still a nice shoe, right, to like the average individual who doesn't perhaps have maybe 40, 50 pairs of Jordan 1s already,
Yeah.
right? But for
What do you think
me
about the
it's
choice of like a new buck instead of leather for the grey bits?
I think that's cool. I think that's nice. I think it'll probably, depending on what the quality is, but it could feel nice. It could be a nice touch to the shoe. Might be weird. Yeah, it's hard to say, but on the whole, I'm not that excited.
What about you, Mo?
I think because we were sort of discussing about it earlier on. The OG was fully leather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically that's the 1.0. This one is like it's a cool colorway, like undeniable. It's quite cool. But just the fact that it's nubuck doesn't make it appealing for me. I would just much prefer if they just went with a full OG replication and just made the whole shoe leather. I don't know, man. The toe box looks like it's going to crease quite easily as well. I don't know. I'm just not feeling the nubuck leather on it. I guess that's why it's the 2.0 though, because it's like
Yeah.
an updated version of the
You
OG,
know,
right?
what I think could be cool is if someone takes the mid panels and the toe box and turns them white.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
That
someone
will
the
does,
white.
automatically make it better, to be fair.
just look a lot better. And I could see that being really popular with the new buck then against the white.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it
crazy
just
because the whole shoe is mostly grey, but it just seems dark. The black bit somehow
yeah, because
overpowers it.
it's so overpowering. When they go with the black tongue, they make it like
Yeah.
a conscious decision. Then like this is gonna be a dark motherfucking shoe because
Yeah.
anything, yeah, I don't know. I always find this sort of color blocking really jarring. It never really works for me.
Do you know what I've only just realized? I've got the Hyper Crimson, which is pretty much
Same,
like
yeah.
95% the same shoe.
How you still
It's
got them, man?
I know, you tell me. But literally around the ankle collar, it's that crimson color, but the rest of it is pretty
It's the
much
same, yeah.
the same.
I was thinking that as
I didn't
well.
even notice it. Yeah, but it's got a black sole instead of a grey sole, like the outsole. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty similar shoe. But that had some horrible materials. Ugh.
Do you reckon a lace swap could improve it?
Mm,
Grey, maybe? I don't know.
I can imagine that they have like a lace that isn't the right grey as well. I can
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
them
Yeah,
having that
they
in the
always do
box.
that. They'll have like a darker shade or a lighter.
Yeah, and it looks
Yeah,
shit.
100%.
Do you remember, was it the Court Purple 2.0? Came with like some weird purple lace. Am I
No, I
making that
like
up?
those laces though. Those violet laces. They were like yeah,
But it
lavender,
didn't match,
violet.
right?
They didn't
Is it?
match. They
Yeah.
didn't match. But they look good on some other shoes I saw. So
Mm.
yeah.
All right, guys, that's my 5.
Cool. Appreciate that, Ash. Right. So that takes us to the end of the podcast. We're about ready to close out episode 13 of Half Size Up. As always, it's been dope chopping it up with you boys. In the meantime, do we have any shout outs or honorable mentions? Ash, let's go to you first.
Shout out to the wifey as usual. Shout out to all the listeners as well. Thanks everyone that chucked in their questions. Much appreciated.
Dope. Dean?
Yeah, just same shout out to everyone listening. Really appreciate it. And yeah, just shout out to you guys as well, always making it fun to come on and chat shit about shoes.
Yeah, from me, just a shout out to Ty Kicks. He did a little live a couple days ago, gave us a shout out, which is nice of him. Also, the lads over on the Double Up podcast, they gave us a little mention on there. So big shout out
Yeah,
to
shout
you
out
guys.
to you guys.
Yeah,
Big
appreciate it.
respect, man. Big respect. And yeah, shout out to the local and global audience that's been tuning in, week out. A big shout out to you guys. Also, Half Size Up was brought to you today by the Pink Miracle Shoe Cleaner, the original shoe cleaner since 1985. Use our code Half Size Up 15 for 15% off your purchase online. Don't forget, we're a weekly podcast and you can follow us on Instagram at Half Size Up Pod. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, many more, plus YouTube. We want to say a big thanks from the entire HSU team. I've been Merkel Moman with my co-host Dean Still
Have a great week, guys.
and Ash Bash.
Catch you later, people.
See you next week. We are outie. That was a good one, lads. I just want to play this sound effect again.
I'm so happy you have that. That's sick.